Shoot. One moment, I forgot to give our thing.
Okay.
Goodness. I was so concerned about going live. Just one moment here. There we go.
Well, yeah, we made up the intro, so we might as well use it.
Welcome to
I'm Elke.
And I'm Jen.
And we are here to talk to you about a 5-hour work week. Is it possible to make money on Zazzle using your creativity? Yes. Is it possible to make money on Zazzle building a Zazzle business, working only 5 hours a week? Yes. We actually have some students that have been through our Profit by Design Academy who have achieved that and not only made some money, but they've actually over the course of 2.5 years made over $100,000. So you can, as long as you're not expecting it to happen in the next week, which is impossible anyway, then if you set up your business using 5 hours a week of your time, slowly over time you will build a solid foundation, especially if you use our 5 strategies and our 3 pillars, which are perceivable, passive, profitable. You will get there because that is what has happened to a lot of our students. Now, obviously, you have to do the work, but the point that we're going to talk about today, bless you, is that you have to really, really be efficient if you want to stick to that 5-hour a week schedule. And the reason that we're even talking about 5 hours a week is because what if you're already, you're still in your day job and you want to, even though it's a side hustle, you want to treat it as a business? You can do that. If you are busy with other things in your life that you have to be responsible for, like being home with your family, homeschooling, taking care of your kids, taking care of loved ones that are elderly, and you're the one in the middle that's trying to make it all happen, and you think, well, if I have to start a business now, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of time and effort, and it's not going to happen for me. It's going to be too tough. And so today, in this episode, we're going to talk about some strategies that you can take away today and start doing that are going to get you to that 5-hour a week work week, because that's how we teach our students in the Profit by Design Academy. We say 20 hours a month, make 100 products a month, and use your 20 hours very, very effectively. And that's what it is that we're going to talk about today. And things we're going to cover are mindset, production and efficiency strategies. And we're not going to talk about them in a lot of detail. You can check out our blog post about some of these other details, but we're going to cover them slightly so that you can get an idea, and you can easily look some of these things up. We're just not going to take 20 minutes to discuss it. We're going to work on making sure that you understand the overview and feel good about the fact that you could do this if you put your mind to it. And the other things that we're going to just quickly touch on are how you can set up your promotion, your production, your promotion, and how you can set up your month so that you can be effective and make those 5 hours a week work for you. All right, I just have so much that I wanted to cover here, because I want to give it to you in a nutshell. If you want to watch or read our blog post coming out, that's where you're going to get some more details. And we're going to have a podcast on this at some point as well, because we feel really, really strongly about this. In fact, Jen and I work only 4 hours a month, but that's because we've been working 5 hours a week in the time that it took us to build our business on Zazzle. But now that we've effectively built our business, we can let it ride, so to speak, and just be in maintenance mode. But first you have to do the work. And then if you follow our strategies and put in place the 3 pillars, you're going to get there, because that's what's happened to our students. All right, so let's start with mindset. The first thing is that get over the fact that you could do this in 5 hours a week. That's huge, because you think right now, if you're going to be successful, and if you're going to make that much amount of money that you want to make, you're going to have to work hard and lots of hours. But our student, Brandon, who's a perfect example because he's made over $100,000 in 2.5 years. And I know it's hurdle pace, it's not the race of the hare. You're doing this a slow, steady pace. But he has another job that he's not going to give up. But he wanted to make this work as a side business. And so he actually very strategically used those 5 hours. And that's what we're going to talk about with you today. So please, please, please overcome that mindset that it takes a lot of hours to get the things done that you need to be doing in order to be successful. The second is you have to set your goal to literally be the most effective in those 5 hours every week. And you do have to show up for those 5 hours and work very, very smart. And that's not very, very good English. I'm actually I'm like really emphasizing the lack of grammar here. Very, very, very. But you have to consider that there are ways to work efficiently for 5 hours that will get you there if you do the work properly and effectively. So then once you have that mindset that you will work to get the things done you need to in 5 hours, and you're going to show up for those 5 hours and make them happen consistently every week, you're already like halfway there. Mm-hmm. All right. So next is using the hours very effectively in order for you to get the most work done and get those 20 hours a month, because that's what it's going to be, right? 5 hours a week times 4 is 20 hours a month. So if you can put 20 hours a month into your schedule, then you are already going to be much further along than if you worked 100 hours ineffectively or 0 hours because you don't know what to do and where to start. So let's get you started. The first thing is, if you're a Zazzle designer who's already on Zazzle and you're working really, really hard and you don't really have the program or the strategies that you need in order to do the work and get the results that you're looking for, then the really important part is to assess what's happening in your store. And the assessment is going to help you do the work more effectively, because you're going to look to see what kind of things did you do, like making products and the type of promotion that you did that resulted in a sale. And if you see that flow, even if it's just a few sales or once in a while sales, that is your clue to see what it is that you need to do more of and what you need to stop doing that's not effective. So, and when you do, if what we suggest, and that's why I brought it out to a month rather than just a week, is in the month, every month, do this assessment. And for anyone who's new on Zazzle, what you're going to do is instead of checking your store, because you don't have any results yet, you're going to check Google Trends and you're going to check the Zazzle Marketplace in order to see whether or not there's something that you resonate with in terms of what you can offer on the Zazzle Marketplace that is trending on either Google Trends or on the Zazzle Marketplace. And what we also suggest is that you look at that 2 to 3 months out, because we want you to make products 2 to 3 months before it actually needs to be bought. That's for seasonal, but most other things, which we always love more than seasonal, is evergreen products, which mean they sell all the time. And that way you don't have to worry about putting them out 2 to 3 months ahead of time. You can add them now and build up your inventory, not worrying about whether or not you're in the right time frame to send out your products for sale into the marketplace. You're just building up your inventory, which is the smarter way to go, and therefore you get to use your 5 hours more effectively. So by doing that assessment, and you do that in the first week of your month, then you're going to literally create your production and promotion strategy for the rest of the 15 hours you have for the rest of the month. And so not only are you going to know what to make and know where to promote, but you're also going to have your 5 hours set for you. And so all you have to do is when you get to the time where you've scheduled for your 5 hours, you open your computer and you start working, and you have no worries about what you need to do, whether it's the right thing to do, because you've set it all out for yourself for the rest of the month. That's very, very important, because that's how the assessment of what's happening in your store, and also what assessment there is out of in terms of the marketplace and what's trending, that then gives you the thing that most people spend the greatest amount of time on. And it's the biggest time waster, because then you move into doubt and frustration and uncertainty, and you go down this rabbit hole, which doesn't allow you to be more effective. It just allows you to think more and more about whether it's the right thing to do, and all of a sudden you realize 5 hours are over. So then going into production, this is where, and maybe Jen, do you want to take over this part?
No, it's okay. Well, you're on a roll.
Yeah, but production is the next part, because now you've set up your schedule in week 1. You've done your 5 hours of research, checking out your store, deciding what you're going to do, maybe honing your skills a little bit more, because maybe there's some things that are happening where you realize, wow, it's taking me a long time to make a product. So maybe even within those 5 hours of the first week of the month, what you're going to do is you're going to practice. You're going to practice getting better at using the design tool, so you post products faster. You're going to maybe look at some Photoshop tutorials if you want to put Photoshop into your skill set to help you with designing. Or you're going to get some training like in the Profit by Design Academy that's going to help you further with how you assess your store, or you do the market research in order to figure out what you're going to promote and what you're going to create. So that's part of the 5 hours. So then you've got your schedule set out for the rest of the month. We crack open our computer on the second week, and we say, okay, we're going to work for 5 hours. But then you have to go like, wait a minute, I've got my schedule of what I want to make. I've got my thing that I want to do for promotion. But unless you're sitting in a nice place that lacking any sort of distractions like your phone and notifications and kids running around and so on, you're not going to be very productive in 5 hours. You're also not going to be very productive if what you need to do to get to work is not done. Like let's say you need a clean desk, or you need something that you have to get done that's bothering you, like throwing a load of laundry in, or if you need to just tell your family or friends, this is my hour, or even schedule it and say, I have to do this between 10 and 11, otherwise I'm not going to get it done. But then when you schedule it between 10 and 11, then make sure by 10 o'clock you're sitting down at your computer and you're going to work that hour or 5 hours all at once, whatever you want to do. And that's your time to do work on Zazzle. And if you check out our blog post and podcast, you can get more details as to some of the strategies that we use and suggest to you, so that you can be the most efficient. So we've got our mindset, we have our goals, we've got a set in our calendar that we're going to work 5 hours a week, and we've got them all set out. We have a nice workspace, and we've also figured out what it is that we're going to make. And then if you want to even go further, you can already have your research done for your titles and tags and have that in a document, so that then when you're making your products, you don't have to worry about what descriptions and what titles and tags to use. All you need to do is copy and paste, copy and paste. And if you watch our tech training that we're going to do this coming Thursday, we're going to show you how to do that. Copy and paste. It sounds really strange because copy paste is easy, but what do you copy and paste, and when do you copy and paste? So make sure you check out our Thursday tech training, Thursday Zazzle tech training, because we're going to actually walk you through that. All right, so now this is your second week. You're starting your production of your products, and remember I said 100 products a month. Well, that sounds a lot, right? It sounds like it's really hard to do. But what if you put together 5 or 10 product designs that you were going to focus on for that month? Even if you got 5 done, And then the rest of the products that I'm speaking of, where you do 100 products, are just the copy and paste. So we're using copy and paste in already 2 different ways. And we're going to show you those both on the tech training on Thursday. And so that way you can get a lot done in 5 hours if you have all of this set up for you. It almost feels like you can do it just now while I've just walked you through this. And you have 15 hours to do that. But wait a minute, I said also something about promotion. Well, we love Pinterest. And if you use Pinterest effectively, that could be your only promotion option that you need to take in order to get those referrals and get driving traffic to your Zazzle products in store. And so if you then add to your production click the Pinterest button on the Zazzle homepage when you post your product strategy, then you can easily do your promotion right at the same time. The hardest thing will be, what board do I put it on in my Pinterest account? And so you've got a really nice system. You've got 15 hours to make and post products for sale and, lots of P's. Make and post products for sale and pin them on Pinterest for promotion. Okay, so that's our advice to you. And you can now see how you can use those 20 hours a month or 5 hours a week extremely effectively. And I challenge you to see if you can set it up for doing that. Now, of course, when you first try this, it's not going to work. Just letting you know. But if you get better and better at it, soon you're going to realize you are working 5 hours a month, 5 hours a week, 20 hours a month, very, very effectively. And you're going to start to see results. Now, obviously, if you want help in terms of how to really effectively and efficiently set up all these tasks so that you can be the most effective and get the most results on Zazzle, AK sales, then of course there's the Profit by Design Academy, which takes a lot longer than 20 minutes or whatever I've taken here in order to explain it to you and to walk you through step by step in training videos.
Yeah.
Can you tell I had a set thing? But tell me honestly, that works for you, right?
Yes. No, it definitely does. Of course.
What is your take home on that? Because you used to work a lot of long hours as well, right?
I used to work a lot of long hours trying to figure things out, trying to understand how titles and tags worked. I was making a lot of products and not actually making the right types of products. And I never really understood if I had an end goal in mind. Let's say you have an earnings goal that you want to achieve each month. I didn't realize that those specific amount of hours that I was working per day needed to obviously translate into that money. I know that sounds silly, but you have to understand on how many products you're supposed to make, what types of products you're supposed to make, if those products are going to be efficient for you in making that amount of money, and then also understanding that you can work within a specific time period. You don't have to be working hours and hours and hours on end. Now, if I work hours on end, it's because I'm having fun designing things on Zazzle and just having fun and enjoying the process rather than working hard and doing the things that actually are they feel extremely difficult for most designers, because those are the very important things. A lot of Zazzle designers come to Zazzle because they're creatives and they love designing and they love artwork and they love the creative process. But what they don't like so much, or what they're not so skilled at, is the business side of things, where they understand how to manage their time properly, or to understand that certain things are possible within a certain time period.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we're talking a lot more about this. We usually just talk about it in the Profit by Design Academy, but you need to hear this in order for you to see that there's more to it than putting up your designs, because we are very, as artists, we're very protective of our designs, and we feel like a big connection to them. So if we then post something and nothing happens, we actually move away from the mindset that we need in order for us to be effective on Zazzle. And then we kind of make conclusions about how much time it takes to get the results because we ourselves are doing things in a certain way on Zazzle, and then they don't work. So we think, okay, well, I have to put in more hours, or I have to do more of this, or I have to do more of this. But we don't actually realize that it's a package, that there's certain things, about 5 things, right? All of our 5 strategies and the 3 pillars in terms of building a business based on perceivable, passive, profitable, that are necessary in order for us to bring that creative side to the whole picture, and just use our creativity to post the products for sale. But we that's what we're used to, is just that creative side. And as Jen said, you have to bring in all of that business side in order to be effective and start to see the results that you actually are hoping and wanting, but not taking the right actions to do. And then on top of it, you don't have to be in that mindset that you have to work from 9 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock at night in order to make money on Zazzle. You can be very effective and efficient and get the work done without having to work long hours.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us and watching the Jen and Elke Clarke show, and we will see you in the next one. No? Or
Yeah,
did you
definitely.
Want to say anything
No,
else?
that's great. So take lots of notes, watch this over and over again. We gave you basically the framework under which you can set up your work schedule for the month and work 5 hours a week to get the work done. And then if you, we didn't tell you specifically what products to make and so on, that's something that you have to do as research, or you can hop on board the Profit by Design Academy, and we actually give you like a list of 50 products and how to research niches and so on. And that takes a little bit more time than we have here in the show, but you can get started right away with all of the things we've given you.
Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Jen and Elke Clarke Show.
What we believe to be true is that if you build your online Zazzle business using the 3 pillars, perceivable, passive, profitable, then you can create a business that gives you your dream life.
To learn more about how we can work together, visit elkeclarke.com.